well, you started in 1999 with the Sopranos, Silvio Dante. What was for you? What did you learn by acting? Is there something that you've learned and maybe that you took with you into the music business?
Yeah, it's a whole new craft. It's a wonderful. I loved learning, and it was a wonderful whole new world to learn about. You know, and you never stop, of course, learning. But you know, over the 10 years, I learned a little bit, and you get a little better every year. I found a couple of elements from my previous life helped me in acting, such as being an autobiographical songwriter. Helps you learn to go inside and find the truth, you know.
So what of yourself did you bring into Silvio Dante's character?
Into that?
Yeah, because
well, I decided
he was somewhat different than when I talk to you now.
Yeah, he is somewhat. I had no training and I had no idea what I was going to do, so I had to make it up, and I had to create a philosophy. And what I decided was every characteristic of every human being exists in all of us. I believe this, from Gandhi to Hitler, okay? And part of the craft of acting is being able to access that, to dig inside, find whatever the character requires that is written on the page, and bring it to life, you know, by inhabiting those characteristics which exist in you.
And what part did you find for this role in yourself?
Well, you look inside and you know, I was a fan of the genre to begin with, which helps, I think, you know. I had seen every gangster movie, I had read every gangster book. I grew up in New Jersey, that alone qualifies you. But I wrote a whole biography about him. I decided, what is he like? You know, what's he, you know, how does he think? And then you discuss that with the writers, and then of course they take over, and they were just so great. You didn't have to worry about it, but you know, just decided he was a guy who felt he missed the best years of the mob and was a bit romantic about it. So once I knew he was a guy who like lived in his head in the 40s and 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, I had him look like that. You know, the hair was that way, you know, and the style was that way, and the clothes, you know. So yeah, I built it from the outside in. You know, I gained 60 pounds. I wanted to be unrecognizable, okay? And I figured I was done with rock and roll anyway, so, you know. Of course, 6 months later, Bruce puts the band back together. I'm like, oh, great. So, you know, it was a whole construction, you know, of this individual, and, you know, you make it up as you go along, and you find out who he is.